And next up is Reese, who is going to do a poem or poems. Round of applause, please.
Okay, my dad had major surgery yesterday, got half of his heart replaced, and I was reminded of this poem by Diane DePrima called April Fool Birthday Poem for Grandpa. It kind of reminds me of how I feel about my dad, so I'm going to read it. Today is your birthday, and I have tried writing these things before, but now, in the gathering madness, I want to thank you for telling me what to expect, for pulling no punches back there in that scrub Bronx parlor. Thank you for honestly weeping in time to innumerable heartbreaking Italian operas, for pulling my hair when I pulled the leaves off the trees so I'd know how it feels. We are involved in it now, revolution, up to our knees and the tide is rising. I embrace strangers on the street, filled with their love and mine, the love you told us had to come or we die. Told them all in that Bronx park, me listening in spring Bronx dusk. Breathing stars so glorious to me, your white hair, your height, your fierce blue eyes, rare among Italians. I stood a ways off, looking up at you, my grandpa people listen to. I stand a ways off, listening as I pour out soup. Young men with light in their faces at my table, talking love, talking revolution, which is love spelled backwards. How you would love us all, would thunder your anarchist wisdom at us, would thunder Dante and Giordano Bruno, or orderly men bent to your ends. Well, I want you to know we do it for you and your ilk, for Carlo Tresca, for Sacco and Manzetti, without knowing it or thinking about it, as we do it for Aubrey, Beardsley, Oscar Wilde, all streetlights shall be purple. Do it for Trotsky and Shelley and Big Dumb Kropotkin, Einstein's strike people, Jean Cocteau's ennui. We do it for the stars over the Bronx, they may look unearthed and not be ashamed.
And I'm up next, and we're going to read some more Charles Bukowski, who is quickly becoming my favorite poet.
All right, Hank.
Oh, I'm Shane. Hi. The first one is called Starve, Go Mad, or Kill Yourself. I'm not going to die easy. I've sat on some of your suicide beds in the worst holes in America. Penniless and mad I've been. I mean, insane, you know. Big tears, each one the size of your bastard hearts, flowing down, roaches crawling into my shoes, and one dirty 40-watt light bulb overhead, and a room that smelled like piss, while your rich, your falsely famous laughed in a safe, stale places far away. You gave me a suicide bed and two choices, no wait, three. Starve, go mad, or kill yourself. For now, enjoy your trips to Paris, where you consort with great painters and dupes. But I am getting ready for your eyes and your brain and your dirty dishwater souls. You men who have created Pigpen for millions to choke soundlessly in, from India to Los Angeles, from Paris to the tits of the Nile, you're fucked up. You rich, you warty, you insecure, you pricky, damned, imbecile, pasty white idiots with your starched white shirts and your starched wives, and yes, your starched lives. Get away, get away, get away. Go to Paris while you can and while I let you. The jolly damned man with the hoe, C. Markham, didn't answer the call, but your children will be raped and your pigs will be eaten and the skies will burn black with crows and your cries as you answer for centuries of unbearable indignity and bullshit. You will be dealt with. We know you now. We've known you forever. The might of the Timerius flies forth like a tremendous and ever beautiful swan. No shit, friend. Look up, look up, look up. The jolly damned man with the hoe is now flying over Milwaukee, grinning, more lovely than the sun, more graceful than all the ugly wounds, more real than you or I or anything. And the next one is called Who in the Hell is Tom Jones? I shacked with a 24-year-old girl from New York City for 2 weeks. About the time of the garbage strike out there, and one night my 34-year-old woman arrived and she said, I wanted to see my rival. She did, and then she said, "Oh, you're a cute little thing." Next I knew, there was a screech of wildcats, such screaming and scratching, wounded animal moans, blood and piss. I was drunk in my shorts. I tried to separate them and fell, wrenched my knee. Then they were out through the screen door and down the sidewalk and out in the street. Squad cars full of cops arrived. A police helicopter circled overhead. I stood in the bathroom and grinned in the mirror. It's not often at the age 55 that such splendid things occur. Better than the Watts riots. The 34-year-old came back in. She had pissed all over herself and her clothing was torn, and she was followed by 2 cops who wanted to know why. Pulling on my shorts, I tried to explain. Thank you. And next up we have MK, who's going to do some poetry and a short story. So, yeah, give him a round of applause, please.
First, I'm going to start off with a poem by David Lerner titled Mein Kampf. All I want to do is make poetry famous. All I want to do is burn my initials into the sun. All I want to do is read poetry from the middle of a burning building, standing in the fast lane of the freeway, falling from the top of the Empire State Building. The literary world sucks dead dog dick. I'd rather be Richard Speck than Gary Snyder. I'd rather ride a rocket ship to hell than a Volvo de Belinas. I'd rather sell arms to the Martians than wait sullenly for a letter from some diseased clown with a 3-piece mind telling me that I've won a bulletproof pair of rose-colored sunglasses for my poem, Autumn in the Spring. I want to be hated by everyone who teaches for a living. I want people to hear my poetry and get headaches. I want people to hear my poetry and vomit. I want people to hear my poetry and weep, scream, despair, start bleeding, eat their television sets, beat each other to death with swords, and go out and get ridiculously drunk on someone else's money. This ain't no party. This ain't no disco. This ain't no fool in a grab bag of clever wordplay and sensitive thoughts and gracious theories about how many ambiguities can dance in the head of a machine gun. This ain't no genteel evening over cappuccino and bullshit. This ain't no life-affirming our days have meaning as we watch the flowers breathe through our souls and fall desperately in love. This ain't no letterpress, hand-me-down, wimpy beatnik festival of bitching about the broken rainbow. It is a carnival of dread. It is a savage sideshow about to move into the main arena. It is terror and wild beauty walking hand in hand down a bombed-out road as missiles scream while a sky the color of arterial blood blinks on and off, like the lights on Broadway after the last junkie's dead of AIDS. I come not to bury poetry, but to blow it up. Not to dawdle it on my knee like a retarded child with beautiful eyes, but to throw it off a cliff into the icy seas and see if the motherfucker can swim for its life. Because love is an excellent thing. Surely we need it. But, my friends, there is so much to hate these days. That hatred is just love with a chip on its shoulder. A chip as big as the Ritz and heavier than all the bills I'll never pay. Because they're after us. They're selling radioactive charm bracelets and breakfast cereals that lower your IQ by 50 points per mouthful. We got politicians who think starting World War III would be a good career move. And we got beautiful women with eyes like wet stones peering out at us from the pages of glossy magazines, promising us that they'll fuck us till we shoot blood. If we'll just buy one of those beautiful switchblade knives. I got mine.